Everyone, welcome to Senior Design course. First of all, congratulations for making this far into the not so easy and challenging mechanical engineering program. This is a big achievement up to this point, and hopefully you can finish your senior design projects successfully this semester and next semester. So in this lecture, I will go over what to expect in this senior design course, and also what is the first step for forming teams and selecting your projects. To give you an overview of what is a senior design course or senior design project, it is a design challenge defined, a problem is defined, and you are responsible to find a feasible and viable solution for that problem, and design a solution for it, and also build, manufacture, and test it. It usually has an external sponsor. It could be a company, it could be an individual, or it could be a faculty from within the ME department. Or often faculty across the campus can sponsor a project and propose a project. It is the whole course and the whole project is designed around the design team, which will be you guys. And the focus of this course and your mentor and myself is around the design process. So this design process is the important keyword here throughout this course and throughout this presentation. And the skills that you have learned and everything that you have learned throughout your ME curriculum and courses, you are going to learn that you have learned, you're going to use and hone your skills and use it for the success of your design course. So again, the whole structure of the course is around designing, which is the fall semester, and then in the spring semester you build, you test it, and you report it. And again, the focus here is on the design process. Each of you are going to work on different projects with different nature, different scope, but all of you, what you have in common, which is this class, is the process. The process for all of you is going to be the same. So to remind you of that design process, this is something that we've covered in previous courses, such as ME 361. The first step is to define the problem. So once we give you a project, you have to go to the sponsor, back and forth between you and the sponsor, and kind of define that problem, meaning find the engineering specification, find detailed information and constraint of your project. That is defining the problem. The next step is you move into conceptual design, and here you have to do all the steps that we learn and practice in ME 361. You have to develop a concept, you have to evaluate and select a concept, and that is part of your conceptual design. You also have to evaluate your concept here by manual analysis and calculations, as well as analysis with software such as FEA or CFD and stuff like that. You evaluate those concepts. Step 3 and 4 are kind of parallel, and they go back and forth. And by evaluating your concept and tweaking your concept, you build up your design and you get more detail figured out about your design. Starting next semester, you are going to start manufacturing your design and your concept. Some teams need to manufacture 2 concepts and validate and see which one they want to go ahead with. Some teams need to manufacture a prototype, and some teams need to manufacture the actual final product, depending on, again, the scope of your project and what your project is. And if you don't remember the difference between concept, prototype, product, all of that, this is something we've covered in previous courses, and you can review those for sure. At any stage, you have to validate your results And also here by manufacturing and testing, you kind of validate your concept. In all of these and throughout the course, you are required to generate some sort of reports and submit it for the class and for your sponsor and for your mentor. So some of you might ask, why do we have this structure? Why do we have this course? And why do we go through this much trouble and these deliverables and steps? So the first one is senior design is a complex project. It involves you, a real-world problem, your mentor, your sponsor, and you have to work together with your sponsor within the team and be able to generate that design and that result that you want. And this is not manageable without having proper coordination and proper structure in place. The other thing, if you remember from 361, time, people, and money are what we call resources. And managing and coordinating those resources are essential and crucial for a project like this or any other real-world projects. And by having a structure in place, you are increasing the efficiency when it comes to coordination between your resources. All of these means that project planning, which we're going to talk about later, is absolutely required if you want to have a successful senior design project and graduate with a good grade and good result from your senior design. And lastly, I'm sure at this stage you know it, but all of the real world problems and real world projects and practices have the similar structure in place, and no matter where you're going to end up working, you're going to follow the similar structure later. I made a diagram to kind of show how different elements of this course will work with each other. So you guys or the team is the heart of senior design project. So obviously you work on the project, but also you are supposed to work with your faculty mentor, which I'm going to talk about in next couple of slides. You work very closely with each other. In addition, you have to work, report, and coordinate with your sponsor, because that is someone who has proposed the project. In some cases, the mentor, your faculty mentor, is the same as your sponsor. If a project is proposed by one of the ME faculty members, that means the mentor and sponsor are the same. But for the projects that have been proposed from industry and from the companies, the sponsor and mentor are two different and separate entities. The sponsor obviously has defined and helped you define the problem and define the project and funds the project, but also coordinator, which will be me in this case, will coordinate with the mentor, with the sponsor, and with the team. So I'm the one who connects all of these together, but also connects all the teams that are in senior design under one place, which is the capstone course or senior design course that we have right now. To get a little bit of more detail, responsibilities and description of what is expected. So you guys as a team, the first role you have is to support your team in any way that you can. When a senior design fails, hopefully that's not going to happen, but if a project fails, that means every member in that team failed. And if a project is a success and is successful, that means every member in that team is a successful and was a success. So support your team by communicating, by planning, and tracking your activities and doing what is expected of you and fulfilling your responsibilities. It is important to stay connected with the sponsor and with your faculty mentor or mentors if you have more than one. This is probably the most important, communication and communicating with each other and stay connected and make sure that everyone is on the same page. You don't want to go too far into your design and then talk to your sponsor, and the sponsor doesn't like your design or idea, and you have to go back and redo it. Because at the end of the day, the sponsor, whether it's a company or one of the faculty mentor, that is who you have to satisfy and has to give the final approval for your project. There are periodic deliverables for this class that is collected by me and is graded by your mentor, which we're going to talk about what is expected and what are the due dates. And the last one is, of course, what we talked about: design, build, test, and report about your project. So again, I want to emphasize on that, supporting your team. I have had a lot of senior design projects. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. I have had few senior design projects that not everyone on the team was doing what they were supposed to do, and there are 1, 2, or 3 members that were doing majority of the work or doing the heavy lifting. If you want your project to be successful, you got to communicate. You have to stay in communication with each other, and every member is supposed to pull their own weight. Talk about the mentor, which this is the faculty mentor, one of our professors in the ME department that will be your advising mentor, and you're going to meet with them once a week, and that's required for the class. So your mentor will help you to kind of fine-tune your project scope and figure out exactly what is required for your project. If your project has a company sponsor, that's when the mentor works with the company and you to fine-tune those project scopes and deliverables of the project. But also, again, the focus on the process. The mentor is here to guide you through the process. I want to make this very, very, very clear. The mentor is not there to do the project. The mentor is not there to tell you how to do calculations. The mentor is not there to do the calculations. The mentor is not supposed to know more than you guys about the project. It's okay if a mentor knows more, if a mentor tells you what to do about calculation, but that is your job. This is your project, and you are supposed to do the work of the project. Your mentor is there to kind of help you and guide you, and if you're getting far away from the project or your deliverables, just kind of push you back and keep you on track. So I want to emphasize this: the mentor is there only for the process and help you throughout the process, and also answer if you have any questions or anything like that. But also, mentor will be a mediator between team members if there's an issue, or if there is anything between the team and the sponsor that needs clarification. Hopefully there is no conflict or any issues there. There shouldn't be anything between the team and the sponsor. But if you need extra help or clarifying something, the mentor is there to help you. So your deliverable for the class, and I want to emphasize this: the content of your plan, budget, your report, your presentation, stuff like that. What goes in it, what to include, not to include, or approving, saying, hey, this is good, this is not good, all of that is your mentor's job, as well as grading it. So your mentor grades majority of your work in this course. And also, mentor will help you find resources if you need extra help with manufacturing something. If you need find some resources for a software, or you need some resources for, let's say, automatic control, or how to, I don't know, program an Arduino, something like that, they will provide the resources and point you to the right direction. Talking about the sponsor, which again, the sponsor could be a faculty mentor who proposed the project, or could be a company. So for this course, we work with a lot of companies, and here you can see some of their names that a lot of them are submitting projects this semester. So they have proposed a design challenge, and they will also help you and work with you to kind of tweak the scope of the project and define the exact detail goals of the project. If you have any project specific questions, they will help you with that. Also, the project direction, they will help you with that as well. And you're supposed to check with the sponsor and be in communication on some of the deliverables. They can help you and give you feedback, such as reports or presentation. And they obviously fund the project, and they will give the final approval and the final ending of the project if it's successful, if it's an acceptable project. And finally, I want to talk about roles and responsibilities of myself here as the coordinator of this course. My first responsibility, which starts way before the semester starts, is to find projects and fine-tune the scopes and go back and forth between the faculty and companies and put together the list of projects that you will see today on Blackboard. I will also help you a little bit with facilitating teams and forming teams. I do not like to tell who needs to be on what team. This is your project. We'll let you form your teams however you like it. And I try to stay out of forming teams and stuff, but I facilitate and help you guys with that. But also I will distribute the projects between the teams, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I put together the organization, the deliverables and due dates for different activities. If there is any issue between team members or mentors or sponsor, I will mitigate and mediate for that issue, and I'm here to help you guys. But also 25% of the grade I will assign for your project. And that 25%, I'll talk about it, but again, I do not grade the content. If you submit a final report of your project, as long as you submit it on time and I receive it, you get your portion of the grades from me. I'm not going to go into the report and read and grade your actual report. That's your mentor's job. So my responsibility is just make sure that you submit it and it's on time. That's my 25% comes from. So if you check this course syllabus, there is a table like this with all of the deliverable due dates all the way to May, end of next semester. All of them are due at 5 p.m. and they're all due on Blackboard for me. For your mentor, I've asked all the mentors, all the faculty in the department this semester to accept electronically. So some might prefer a Dropbox, some might prefer email. I don't care. That's something between you and your mentor, however you want to work it. As long as they receive it by that date and that time, they're able to grade it. The format, you can work it between you and your mentor. So I want you to print this table from syllabus and kind of have it on your desk, on the wall, somewhere that you can see it, so you always remember where to find what is due and what to do about it. So if you look at this syllabus, there is a description of all of these as what is expected of you. But I will go over each and every one of them before they're due. So for now, the only focus is the first one, project selection forms, we will be talking about. Do not worry about anything else at this point until we are past that step. Before we get into project selection, also I want you to check this table. This is available in the syllabus. As I mentioned, 25% is graded by me. Again, only if your deliverables are on time and I receive them, you get that 25%. Plus, there's a team evaluation form, which you're going to see in the table as TEF. that you guys grade each other. That I will also multiply it by that 25% of grade that you will get to me. Everything else is done by your mentor. So your reports, budget, your notebook, your presentation, your poster, everything that you do will be graded by your mentor. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough because I get a lot of questions and email that as soon as expect me to grade their work, which I do not grade your work. I only care about that you submit your deliverable on time and I get them and everything is on time and order. Your mentor is the grading. So any grading issue goes back to your faculty mentor. Okay, so let's see what is next. So now we're getting to this project selection form, which are due September 4th. So the first step is for you guys to form teams. If you already have a team, you already have minimum of 4, maximum of 5, you should be fine. You can move on to step 2. But if you don't have a team, or if you are still looking for someone, or if you're looking for a team to join, I have created a discussion board on Blackboard, or discussion thread on Blackboard. So if you go to Tools and click on Discussion Board, you should see something like this that says Finding a Team. And under there are 2 threads that you can join. The first link is NASA Path Builder. So there are 2 projects. There are 2 NASA projects that are already assigned to 2 teams. And students on those teams are the ones who have helped from last spring semester with writing a proposal, putting forth the idea, submitting it to NASA, securing the funding, and all of that. So they've been working on this project. But they still need some additional team members. I have posted the description about these 2 projects on Blackboard. So please review the descriptions. And if this is something that interests you, then go to NASA Path Builder and post your name and information there, and the students in those teams will get to you. Otherwise, everyone else, because those teams have, I think each they need 4 students, something like that. So everybody else that is in need of a team or member, they can go on the second link and post their information and then start getting in communication and contact with each other to form teams. Step 2 is to review project descriptions. So there is a document under course content that has the list of all projects. There are 33 projects on there that you can see. Read the descriptions carefully, and I'll tell you what is step 3. So the first page of that document, when you open, you see a table like this that has the list of all the projects that are available for selection this semester. So the first portion are the ones proposed by companies. So you will be working directly with one of these companies here. Some of them, they already have a faculty mentor assigned to them, but because I'm not 100% sure on those, I have removed them. But you can go through the list and see what interests you, and I'll tell you what to do next. So the second portion of it are the projects all proposed by the faculty mentors in the department. So these are the projects that you will be working only with the faculty mentors and not with companies and faculty. So again, read the descriptions, the detailed description of each project. What is expected and what is deliverable for that project is available on that list that you can see. So step 3 is pick 5 projects that you're interested in. 5 projects. So if you go to course content, click on project selection form. There's a Word file like this. You write your names, student ID, email addresses in the table. and you pick 5 projects from the list. 5 projects from the list goes here. 1 is your first choice, second is your second choice, and so on. Once you do that, you save the file as a Word file and upload it on their assignment project selection list. So download the form, write your team, write your project, upload it back to Blackboard. Please pay attention. It's due September 4th, 5 p.m. If you do not submit it by then, not only lose a little bit of that 25% of your grade, but also there is no guarantee that you're going to get the projects that you want. Whatever project is left and no one has picked, I have to assign those projects to your team. So if you want to make sure you're not missing this deadline, submit it ahead of time. Start looking and working on it, and then start submitting your files onto Blackboard. Please submit Word file, no PDF files. Okay, and also 1 student from every team is enough to submit. I don't need all 4 or 5 of you to submit the project. And then each student can only be on 1 team and 1 of the forms. So make sure that if you're talking to a couple of teams and you don't know which one you are going to join, once you join one of them, make sure to let the other one know, the other team know that you are not joining them anymore. Again, just to clarify, the Path Builder project, do not put this on your selection. Those are just for information. I've included the information for them. Those have already a team, so do not put those on your selection forms. The selection form refers to all other projects that you're going to see on this table and that document on Blackboard. So this is the only thing that you need to do. There's nothing else that you need to do at this time. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about any due dates, deliverables, communicating, anything else. Once I receive all of the forms on September 4th, I assign the projects that weekend, and then the week after you're going to hear from me, and I will tell you what is the next step or what is that you will need to do. Until then, have a good time, and I'll see you later.